Okay, so we're back to discuss the new things that we've been working on in Dwarf Fortress. Last time we showed just some basic graphics with the dwarves sort of embarking and making their first little home and so forth, and we're going to do roughly the same thing this time.
I'm gonna say, why is
But
this so blurry?
now you
It's
can
because
see
it's
we
low
have
quality.
the startings of an actual newfangled interface here. We've got a map.
Hey, hold
up
on
in
a
the
second.
top
Let's unpack this. What's actually going on here? We've got like you've got your mood tracker up top. You got food. So all like your whole Z menu's up top. Interesting.
right. You could see that go up and down, and you get a kind of elevation readout to know where you're at. You can see the weather, the time of day, the general state of your fortress up top, how many dwarves are stressed out. In the beginning, there's 7 neutrally.
You do actually have a UI.
added.
There's the mini map too. The mini map's a little smaller than I expected. From the post that they put up the other day, I expected the mini map to be bigger. Also, you have like little play pause buttons. Look at those. And that looks like a settings menu.
To neutral attitude dwarves, but that is not going to last forever. So make sure you're misting them with waterfall.
I mean, Animal, you could in theory just buy everybody that you know like a you could just buy everybody that you know like a mood ring.
And so forth, and giving them their favorite foods. We've got the food up at the top, and now
build menus and stuff
we
down
have
at the
these
bottom
little
left.
interface buttons at the bottom, so that you can
What's that on the bottom right?
make digging designations and so forth, which we did before. The last time we made a video, we did it with the old menu that you'd pop up with. Is all keyboard controls. Everything you're seeing here is being done with the mouse when it comes to digging.
Mouse heresy.
When it comes to placing these new zones and so forth. You can see us chop down trees. Now we have
Yeah,
some
you're probably
old
right. It's probably
interface
reports
here.
and announcements.
For instance, the stockpiles, when we make those, still use the old interface, but we're working on it. And we've got dwarves chopping down trees.
Is it bad that I want to use the old interface with the new, like, graphics?
Using the new chop designation that was some mouse-driven rectangle we dragged out. We've got dwarves carving out a little room that I'm going to turn into a tavern later. You can do things like hide objects that are annoying you, which I do there with the hide designation. You can turn them off and on with the rectangle. And so our dwarves are moving the wood that they've chopped into the little pile there. We've got a food stockpile going. Some of the objects.
I like that Tarn does the same. I'm not sure if he's playing this or if this is footage that he's commentating over, but whoever's playing does the same thing I do, which is like twitchy fingers where you're constantly like moving things around.
Don't quite have pictures yet, so you'll see the little.
Yeah, no, I believe it, Focal.
Cyan cubes for those. Using the old building interface to place a carpenter and a mason's workshop to get some furniture into this little tavern we're going to dig down at the bottom, and so we're making progress here. A lot of the.
Yeah, the neat thing about this, I want to know what those cubes are. The neat thing about this, more than anything, is I think this is, as Focal Fury in chat was just saying, like, this is really going to appeal to the new player. Like, this is a lot more approachable looking than Dwarf Fortress is currently. I don't know, I'm just going to kind of ask, like, kind of the more advanced, like, people who've been playing the game longer in chat. Because for me personally, I say that this kind of appeals to me because it's still got that DF quirk to it. Like, the thing that I was really worried about with this whole thing coming out is that it was going to come out and be very polished, which isn't something I want. I want it to still be quirky.
Stuff on the screen.
Also, that wagon looks great.
Placeholdery. We haven't quite figured out what we're gonna do with some of the menu.
The ramps
options.
still look bizarre to you? They've grown on me, frankly.
We'll be sorting that out over time. There's something like 65 big main screen menus, and then dozens of extra small menus. You can see now there's a announcement icon up in the top left. the little
Assuming we still have
cancel symbol up
hotkeys.
there for
with the same hotkeys even.
That particular one, we have more icons now. At the time of this build, that says there's nothing to catch in the northern swamps. That was a kind of the placeholder icon for that. But most of the announcements now will appear on the top left. Now we're seeing the stock screen. This is kind of a screen that used to be its kind of own.
Will it still fucking freeze for 30 seconds when I select the thing that has like 18,000 items in it?
A separate thing with no graphics,
if it doesn't,
no categories, no
unplayable.
No, not.
Let's see. That's probably like your dump icon, your forbid icon, your go-to icon, and I don't know what that is. What would that be? Probably your hide icon, the little eyeball. Neat.
You had kind of the same functionality, but wasn't as easy to work with. And a big thing that we've got now is this filter. So I can type llama, and now it's showing llama wool trousers, llama shoes, and llama mittens, and so forth. Easier to find stuff, way easier to find stuff than it was before. And it looks like we're getting the tavern finished down at the bottom there. And so yeah, things going well. I'm gonna place some tables. Only 2 of the tables have been built. We don't have the wooden table icon has been drawn, but I haven't coded it up in the game yet. So we have stone table icons for our wooden tables, and then there'll be a stone chair placed as the dwarf is finishing this room here.
So those are technically wooden, but they look like they're made of stone.
We've got the mouse moving down there to the smoothing designation.
You might see it. Who
designate
knows?
this rectangle to smooth the tavern walls. That'll just get started.
Thanks, G-Panda.
And now I'm going to place the tavern. So you can just quick pop open a rectangle, select a meeting area, assign a location to it. We've got tool tips now. There's the tavern has been created. Pop. We've got a detail screen upcoming for that, so you can see some more information, including reading the whole name that the game picked for you. And of course, you can pick your own name for your tavern. And I waited a bit for a visitor to arrive, and they did not come. But it's just as well, since they don't have
At least Dwarf Fortress is still a hard as hell game to actually show off to people and explain to people, because like stuff might happen, stuff just might not.
Icon yet, so they'd be the little blue debug creature. What are you doing, Scams? Yeah, so we've got this underway. Just wanted to show you some of these things. I'll go ahead and make a pasture for the horses. We've got our horses hanging out in the tavern right now, which is not an ideal place for them since they actually need to graze.
Well, the big concern, Focal Fury, is WASD is like the normal mode of movement for screens, right? But W, A, S, and D are all hotkeys that are used for things in menus in Dwarf Fortress. So if we're moving the screen around with W, A, S, and D, then suddenly all of the hotkeys in the keyboard change. So it depends on whether or not they go with arrow keys or WASD, really. Because hotkeys could change.
Grass, or else
I love the
starve
moon,
to death,
by the
which is no fun.
The moon looks great.
But as you might expect, they need to eat grass, and so we'll set that up for them in a bit here. And here I go. And we'll drag that out, and you just click the pen pasture, and you've got your list of animals right there. They pop up, select them, it shows that they're in the pasture, and there you go. It's simple. That would take something like
you already can
10 or 15 key presses in the keyboard driven version, and we'll still have keyboard commands, but they will be something that you don't have to use now. So you can click, you can type as you
just said you'll still have keyboard commands.
And,
there you go.
Yeah, cool. So that was the
Hey, Bobber.
First few days.
So to anybody in chat who's confused, this is just up on the Steam page right now, and it's also up on the website or on this website called YouTube that you may have heard of.
Some weeks of this fortress here as they carve things out and so forth.
But
yeah, cool. So I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I wish they posted that an hour ago. But yeah. Here's the link if anybody missed it and you want to rewatch it. There's a lot of things I really like about this. Like if I skip through it, shush turn. If I skip through it, there's a lot of things I really like about this, and a lot of things that like, well, maybe not a lot of things, but a few things that like I kind of hope get worked on a little bit. Like right, for instance, there's a lot of space on this top side screen that I hope gets used. Like, I don't think it does really. So there's kind of like some wasted space up there. Like, I don't know if they're planning on putting something up there, but it feels like that doesn't necessarily need to be that big. You know, like the moon icon could just be like kind of tucked underneath here without too much issue, and it wouldn't be a problem. But aren't we all though, G-Panta, waiting to make Tarn mortal? Yeah, no, this is fascinating. Hopefully we can see more stuff like this. Because, yeah, this literally just dropped like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, once again, there's a link if you want it. That was neat. I'll have to do something more detailed later today. But for right now, trust me, if Tarn was a guest, you'd fucking know. I maybe need to, like, bother him to get him on